It's there. Okay, well, hello everyone. We are here, we are live, and I have something exciting to share with you today. It's a gentleman by the name of Mr. Jim. Are you so excited to have him here with you today? Because I am.
Let's go through some kind of a bow. There we go.
Yes, perfect, perfect. Jim, thank you so much for coming on with us today in our Business Builder group. I know everyone's really excited to learn about a special tool that you have really spearheaded for our members, and that's our In Touch app. Thank you for joining us and being willing to share some of the specifics of how to use this tool and really the power behind what it can do for our members' businesses.
Are you kidding me? I'm happy to be here. I've got to be here. The more we get the word out about the power of this app, the more you as a member can do and be more effective and more productive with your every minute of your day. We've all got so many things we have to do in our lives, and you want to be efficient with your time. And so LifeWave In Touch was developed to allow you to be very effective and very efficient with your prospecting. If someone wants to know, well, how am I supposed to use this? What's this for? Well, really, it's about being efficient with your time in terms of managing and dealing with prospects and follow-up and those types of things. So let me get into it, okay, Emily?
Absolutely. And before you start, Jim, for those of you that don't know, this is Jim Caldwell. He's our Vice President of Marketing, and he is pretty awesome. So I know some of you are new, so I don't want to assume you know who Jim is, although I'm pretty sure you all know. But just in case you're wondering, who's this handsome guy? This is Jim.
Oh, please.
Take it away, Jim.
Thanks very much. Okay, so first of all, before I even show you a screen, which I'm going to be able to do through the magic of hooking into the computer, go to your Android or your Apple App Store and download LifeWave In Touch. It's not In Touch, it's LifeWave, separate word, INTOUCH. So it's one word, In Touch, LifeWave In Touch. That's the app. Go there, download it. And part of the process, when you double click on your desktop of your phone, you'll then be asked to sign off on the privacy document and things like that. And the next thing you know, let me do a little magic here now, and I'll show you, you will be shown this. This will pop up, and this is what you'll see. Are you seeing that okay, Emily? Perfect. Okay, so this is what you'll be presented with the minute you go into the app and double click. Now, this is what we call kind of a landing page, kind of an onboarding set of visuals that kind of walks you through the basics. And you can see there's a word in the bottom right. It says next. You can't swipe to the left. You press the word next and you go across as it talks about the various aspects of what this app is all about. I'll get into these myself as we go through this, but this is a way for you to kind of familiarize yourself as you walk through, or what are these buttons for? Where do I go for information? How does this work? And that kind of thing. And when you press done, then you're presented with that. Okay, so this is what the general desktop, let's say, of the home page of the app looks like. Notice up on top there, that's what we call a slider. And that, depending on the week, depending on the promo, depending on what we're promoting from the corporate end of things, that will slide through and show you different things. Notice there's nothing there right now, because right now, at this exact minute, there's nothing incredibly special going on. But trust us, here comes Nova pretty soon. So we've got some banners coming from Nova. We're going to be doing lots of promotions around that. A new promos probably in the works coming. And that will be something that slides through with information, which you can click on things. Now, before we go into these specific buttons that you're looking at right here, take a look at the top left-hand corner. See that where it says that typical hamburger menu? You press on that, and this is what you're presented with. Notice you've got the home. You can press on home, which takes you right back to that. All right, so let's go back up there and take a look. Under training, there's quite a bit of information here. In fact, let's take a look at training right now. Take a look at what this looks like. Oh, goodness. Tips and secrets for LifeWave In Touch app. Well, guess what? Inside there, if I click on that, I am now going to be taken to the actual PDF that was created that runs you through the basics of what this app is all about. And you can slide right to left with your thumb. You can pull that forward. You can take a look. You can go sideways. So you can read this effectively, and you can go through and see what's here on every one of those pages as it walks you through the basics of what's on this app. So take a look at that. You click on that, second page, step-by-step guide, getting into what is the menu, what is there. Notice I've taken you to the training, as this particular visual on the second page of the PDF does. And this document is designed to walk you through all the basics. What is the story on that button, share? Well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. So you can literally spend some time on this to get to know by just reading, okay? And there's plenty of information here, as you can see, as you then walk through the specifics of sharing. What does that really mean? It's easy. Sure, there are some details, like anything. You have to get to know it. You have to spend a little bit of time to understand the power of LifeWave In Touch. What do you do with the prospects list, the prospects button that's available on the app, et cetera, setting up a three-way call. Interesting about the three-way call helper concept, or the button itself, is this isn't about actually executing a conference call, a three-way call. This is about having folks, members, upline, leaders on call, on deck, that you can poke and say, hey, I want to do a three-way call in 15 minutes. Are you available in 15 minutes, a half hour, or 45 minutes? They come back and say, yeah, I'm available. I'm available now, or 15 minutes. And you say, great, done. And that way you've arranged and you've organized and got set up the person you want to have come on your three-way call to help you. So that kind of thing. So let's go back to training. Notice here, perhaps you want to, maybe you're more auditory, visual, and you want to spend some time with a video that walks you through what's the story on the app. Besides this training that we're doing right now, you can click on that and go right into video that explains and talks about, that's me going through it. And then here's another one over here. Here's the app explained by the creator, for instance. So there's plenty of information here under training. You can even see how fast you can prospect, how fast you can send information in 60 seconds, literally. If you watch this little video, once you're good at it, you realize you just meet somebody in a coffee store and you can enter their phone number manually. You can send them something just like that. And the next thing you know, they've received that information that you've sent them. So go back up here. Notice there's a direct link to our success library, which is something in the neighborhood of 14 ebooks, information you can study and learn and spend time with. There's a direct link right from the app. You can add a distributor right from the app. You can enroll someone right from the app, or of course, a retail customer. We really are moving as a company toward being more centric toward developing and acquiring more retail customers, and certainly preferred customers. So you can do that from the phone. Notice down here at the bottom where it says contact. Okay, let's click on that. See what's here. Well, you can certainly get a hold of customer service. Okay, domestic USA, there's that number. Also, look further below, LifeWave app support at membertech.com. If you have a particular problem, you have a challenge, you're not sure about something, you can email directly to the folks that developed the app in the first place, ask the question, they immediately issue a trouble ticket, that's what they call it, issue a ticket, and they follow up very professionally. They're very much on the ball as far as making sure that you have the kind of support you need when you really have a question about the app. Okay, let's go back to the homepage. Now check this out. Share, prospects, three-way call, events, office, alerts. Okay, the most important button in this app is the share button. Check it out, watch. I'm going to click on it, and here's what you have. Now, I'm going to scroll down. Notice there's horizontal, right? And there's vertical, right? Notice there are topics, product sharing. You want to share the product, you've got 3 videos to choose from here, or in fact, 2 videos and a document to share associated with exposing people to our product, specifically X39 in this case. Product testimonials. Alrighty, here are a couple of bundles, one that's 2 minutes and 24 seconds of various testimonials from people talking about the product. We have a quick one from David talking about the stem cell revolution and how cool it is that we are front and center in the middle of it. Further down, again, under product, okay, under what we call the science, here's a presentation, for instance, that David made at the what we call the RAD Fest, a radical anti-aging, age reversal type conference, where he was a presenter, and he got, you cannot believe the feedback he got from this presentation. It's current. It was done in the fall of 19, and this is something you're going to want to take a look at. By the way, as we talk about this, notice the play button in the middle of that. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's see if you can see what the play button. I don't think that you can hear audio, but you'll certainly be able to see. You see what the visuals are. There's David talking. You can watch, you can listen, you can learn from this app, besides specifically just sharing that with somebody else. Notice, what is phototherapy? You can send that video to someone else, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's the business side of things. Maybe you're really focused on building your team. Here are a couple of core videos which are critical, that tell the story. You know, it's the message. You're the messenger, and you can use these types of tools to tell the story. You can play these for your own edification, so you can be sure you know what's on these videos. And of course, you can share them, which I'm going to share. I'm going to show you what that's all about in a sec. So just be aware. Testimonials, subject videos. Phil Jones. This one, by the way, is about to go off the app because we have a 1-year contract with Phil Jones to be able to share his information for a year. And that annual anniversary, I think we would call it, is coming up pretty soon. So those of you that are familiar with Phil Jones and the power of his messaging, be sure to take a look at this video because it really is something to behold in terms of great content. Here's something from David talking about with the Paula Shaw back in the last year when we did LifeWave in Life. Gosh, what did we call it? It's been so long. The Power of Life. We had a great series with Paula. We interviewed David. So there's event highlights, promoting the LifeWave experience, where to place the patches. That's all here. You can share all this information. Look at this. Here's why age. How do I place it? Where do I place it? It's all here. Let's go back to the home. Okay, so sharing, I said, that's the key. Well, let's say we want to share LifeWave X39 product video. I'm going to click on the share button. See that? And look what I'm presented with. Now, here's what's beautiful about the app. We have pre-populated content. So if you don't want to bother writing specific text messages, coming up with something clever, you don't want to write the email and figure out what to say in the subject line, we've written those for you. You can change them, but not on this page. This is kind of like a preview of the messaging that generically resides in the Share app. Now watch, I'll press next in the top right-hand corner. You have 3 ways from which you can select prospects that you want to communicate with. Notice new prospect, device, context. All right, so let's say I want to go to into my device. I would click on that, go find that person I want to share information with. I'd click on that person, and that information would automatically populate into the fields here. Maybe I have a new prospect, manual entry. Notice down in the bottom center there, I can type in that person's name, phone number, email, that kind of thing. Top left, existing prospects, I'm going to do just for kicks and giggles. Oh, who's James Caldwell? Hey, that might be me. Let me use that. All right, I'm going to send me a message, and I'm going to go ahead and text it. Or I could email. I could also Facebook Messenger. I could use WhatsApp. I can use WeChat. Depending on the country that you're in, this will have a bigger list of those apps. For instance, in Japan, they use Line a lot, right? Different countries use different forms of communicating, and this app knows what those are depending on what country in which you're residing. I'm going to go ahead and say, yep, I want to text James. Well, do I want a reminder to follow back up on James? Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to say no reminder at this point. And then look what happens next. Oh, see what's written right there where you and I normally would write our text message? Hi, James, there's nothing out there like X39. Watch this. I can change that now if I want. I could go in there and say, hi, James, how you doing? There's nothing out there like X39. Watch this. Hey, James, it was great to catch up with you earlier today. As I said before, there's nothing out there like X. See what I mean? You can customize your messaging, but certainly do not change the HTTP address, the URL that we're sending. So I'm going to go ahead and send James, who happens to be me. I'm going to send that message and watch what happens, right? We're used to our phones getting some kind of a message. Hey, there's something came in on my text. Oh, check it out. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, I wonder what, oh, well, that's right. I talked to this guy earlier. I'm going to go ahead and click on that URL. I'm going to watch this video. Now, notice what comes up as I'm taking to that URL. Let's see how our Wi-Fi ears hear it. Now, notice what it says. It says, to me, I've just received this now. So I'm wearing two hats here, aren't I? I'm sending and I'm also receiving to give you an idea of how this works. Watch this video, then close it out and scroll down to learn more. Notice down below, there's information. I can go to the website. I can request more information. But right now, yeah, I'd like to go ahead and watch that video. Now, here's the magic, I believe, of the app. Watch. I'm going to click. All right, there it is. Now, notice across my phone as the recipient, I have a thing that says video is being viewed. You didn't see that, but I did. So I'm the sender. James is watching that video as we speak. A push message comes back to me, Jim Caldwell. See, look at this. I get an email. LifeWave videos being viewed. Fantastic. I know that what I just sent is being looked at right now. Now, the person that I sent it to, he or she doesn't know that I have this interesting, powerful connectivity to what I've just sent, but I know. See, this information is power. It says, hey, look, hey, Jim, the guy you just sent it to, James Caldwell, is viewing your video. Okay, I'm going to close out on that. So now I'm aware that someone watched the video that I sent. Now think about it. What does that really mean? Think about this. You send a video. Let's say you sent this video just like I do to Mary Jane, right? And you don't get a push message back. You don't get anything back. You can say to yourself, gosh, I never heard from Mary Jane, meaning I didn't get the push message back that Mary Jane has viewed what I sent. So now think about how that informs your follow-up, right? Now, if you gave yourself a message and a reminder of, say, 24 hours or 3 days or whatever for follow-up, right? And you see you're very busy, you're not paying attention, you had sent this off to Mary Jane, and you moved on with your day. Tomorrow, you get a reminder, hey, Jim, you got to follow up on Mary Jane. And you realize, wait a second, hang on now, I never got a push message. I don't think Mary Jane has not looked at what I sent. So when you follow up and have that conversation with her, you can say, hey, Mary Jane, how you doing? You know, if you're like me, you're probably busier than a hornet. You probably haven't had a chance to look at the video. Have you been able to see it? Now you've taken that person off the hook. They don't feel guilty that they haven't seen it. You now are in a position to kind of have empathy to say, you know, oh, no, I get it. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have watched it either. I'm so darn busy. But I tell you what, when's a good time when you can watch it? Are you able to watch it in the next 5 or 10 minutes? And they say, well, actually, yeah, I can. Great. Why don't you take a look and then we'll follow back up. Here's the point. If you do get a message back, a push message back, now you could follow up and say, hey, Mary Jane, I bet you took a look at that video already. Tell me, what was your favorite part? You don't have to wonder, did they look at it? You know they've looked at it. So you can speak with authority. You can speak with confidence. You can ask questions and you can guide that conversation in a way that's very, very powerful. And that's what I think is one of the most interesting, effective ways that you can leverage LifeWave In Touch to understand what are people doing with the information that you've sent, okay? And you can follow up with power. The PDF that we created talks about that and explains that. You can tell by this little example right here what really can happen. So that's the share button. You can share all these different types of content with people. Here, watch it. Let me, I'll do.
Can I ask you a question on this, Jim? We had a comment come through about sharing videos specifically.
Oh.
So I was wondering, is it possible to bundle and share more than one video at a time, or is it singly?
Single at a time, single videos.
Cool.
You go one at a time because, you know, in one sense, you do kind of want to plan it out in your mind's eye. Think about it. I'm going to share the X39 video first. Then I'm going to follow up with a testimonial pod once you know they've looked at it. Think about this. Even if you send them that first video, Emily, on X39, you don't have to necessarily call them. You know they've looked at it. You can go ahead and fire off a second video as part of that follow-up and then make the call when you know they've looked at both X39 and the testimonial video. So yeah, only one at a time, and you can kind of plan out what sequencing is best for you and how you see you running your business, what you would like to share first. Does that answer the question, Emily?
Yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense too. So really the way that it's designed is to help us to drip on people, right? Instead of throwing up all this cool information that we're excited about at one time, this allows us to share pieces as it makes sense and to continuously have those points of contact with an information to help guide how and when we share, right?
That is exactly right. And think about this. So here, take a look what's on the screen, promoting the LifeWave experience, the power of our In Touch app. Now look at, this is a video that we produced already that you can use to share with your prospects that are interested in business building. You can say, well, by the way, we have this fantastic app and we've got a video that promotes the use of the app, basically a system that you can plug into when you join LifeWave. So in other words, you can present the app as an added incentive. Hey, why do you want to join LifeWave? Well, we've got, fantastic products, incredible opportunity, great comp plan, wonderful tools, and this app. In fact, let me send you over a quick little video that's a minute and a half that shares with you the power of this app. Its accessibility from your app stores. You use it as a prospecting machine. Now, think about the leaders that you bump into, folks that you realize really have some are highly motivated to make some serious money. And they realize, oh my goodness, you've even got an app that's designed to help me be more efficient. Yes, that's what it's all about. That's what this app is. And you can look at this, look at the language. It's a powerful tool. What's it for? You can do so many things with it. People can on the go. It's like having your business in the palm of your hand. And that's why we use this. You can use this video to promote it as part of the mix of information as people are considering joining LifeWave. So I'm going to stop out of this, okay, and go back. Let me tell you something else that's really interesting. Okay, people talk about, well, how do I know where to place the patch? You can not only look at it yourself so that you're clear, but if someone, perhaps they're new in the business, perhaps they're a customer, they've got a question, where do I place the energy enhancer? You can say, well, let me share a video with you real quick. Let me throw that at you, take a look, and we can follow back up. So you can send information like that. You can even decide, you know what? I'm going to send someone a quick little 41-second video that teases the opportunity. Then I'm going to send them a second one that kind of opens the door a little bit more. All right, then I'm going to tell them the rest of the story. So there's different ways that you can use the content. And let's talk about social media, Emily. And by the way, I'm saying a lot, so feel free to jump in at any time and interrupt me if you have any questions. But think about this. You can share social media posts. When I say share, you can post them, okay? What does that mean? You can take these, look, we got a whole bunch, right? And there's more all the time. You can post these on any platform you want to. And what do you do with that? Well, actually, I would show you, but it actually would go live onto my Facebook platform. And I, at this exact moment, don't want to post that, but you look at, watch. You click on post and it says, oh, well, where do you want to post it? WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, where do you want to go? And I can choose. Next thing you know, that is posted. But here's the magic. What happens when someone looks at this and says, that's pretty neat. I'm going to click on this, right? And so they click, and guess what? They're given an opportunity to populate a couple of fields of information, the name and phone number, for follow-up, and that gets pushed right back to you. So normally when you post on social, right, what's the nature of follow-up? It's not as efficient. You don't know who's looked at something or clicked on it. You don't know. But with this app, you do. And that allows you then from time to time when you want to post something and see what happens as people follow up on the information you posted, you then get information coming right back at you. Let me go to a couple of other things here, Emily, real quick. So the prospecting area, this is where your prospects are organized. Anytime you share something and you type in or pull a contact from your own phone and you share something, boom, that information is instantly placed in the prospects list. Notice over on the left-hand side, notice that icon of Steve Brown. I'm going to click on that. Oh, actually, he's just parked, not really doing much. but I just had a conversation with him. He is hot. I'm going to make a note so that I know all of the prospects that are hot. Okay. And you can then sort them. Who are my hottest prospects? Who's deadwood? Who hasn't gotten back to me in 90 days? Boom. I'm going to remove them from my prospects list. So you can do all kinds of things. Notice the 3 buttons on the right. Click on those. Do I want to share contact? What are the prospect details? Gee, do I want to set a reminder to follow up with that person? I want to delete this prospect like I talked about. I think I want to call them right now. I want to throw them a text, right? So you can, again, managing the prospects that you've been in contact with. That's what this is all about. And you can sort them like I talked about, and this is a very effective tool. So back to the
One question on this one, Jim. Sorry. Now, you said that anyone that I've sent content to or shared will automatically come into this prospects area. Now, can I add like a big bunch of people and create a big list, or is this really to help me track who I've been talking to and I've utilized some of the tools in the app with?
Great question. And the answer is a simple one. The prospects area, the prospects section is populated by those that you've shared with. You do not go to your phone and drop in all kinds of prospects into the prospects area manually yourself. You do it through the share process, okay? That way it's methodical, you're in control. And by the way, you can share something every 62 minutes, boom. In an hour, you can share out to 20 people. But each one you can customize. Well, this one, right? I shared so-and-so message with. This one I shared that the horses don't lie, right? This one, so now you've set different messaging texts, you've customized, you've customized your messaging depending on the nature of the prospect in which you're showing interest. That make sense, Emily? Yeah, what else? So 3-way call I talked about. This is about being able to add a new helper. Look at this. This you type in the username of your upline, you add them, and they then are pokeable, and you can then go through the process of asking them, hey, you available for a 3-way call? And they say, sure I am. By the way, this is live, so you're seeing all my messaging that's coming in here for sure on a regular basis. What else? Events. Okay, this is an area where you can post your own events, and we are building this out to be able to post our events. So we're making sure that events that are currently like Nova's coming up, events, it's got to be listed in here as well. You get into February 21, things like that. So we're building out this events area, all right? And office, this allows you to go directly into your back office itself. Think about that. I talked about this being your business on your phone. Indeed, you can get into your back office. Where are you from? What's your country? And you're into your back office, and you can navigate through that back office, no problem. Okay, let's go back to here. One last thing, it's interesting. Alerts, by the way, we send out alerts on a regular basis, depending, as we then go out to folks that have the app, tell them things, announce things, that kind of thing. Let me think. What else I was going to tell you, Emily? Any questions you have while I'm kind of thinking about where I want to go next?
Well, I really think it's pretty awesome, all of the specific pieces of what the app can do. Not only is it a great tool, but it's a great resource helping everyone keep track. And like you said, where are the events? You can get notifications. I just think it's awesome, Jim. I mean, really, not a lot of companies even have something like this, but certainly not a lot of companies offer this as a free tool to our members.
Think about that. I was just going to say, normally this would cost 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, $12.95, pick a number, right? So sure. In the near term, companies decided now for a year now, this has been a free app and will continue to be until, maybe when the numbers get huge and we're spending an awful lot of money on this, we might have to charge $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 a month. Nothing crazy. But before we go, check this out. Notice top right. I'm in the share button, top right, notice USA English. Click on that. Then click on the down button next to the USA, and this unfolds like that. Well, wait a second. Germany, yeah, I've got a German friend. I want to send him some information. Notice bottom center, apply. Oh my goodness, there's that video in German. There's the share information in German. I can pop that out to him. I don't speak German, right? But I know this fellow's phone number. So I think, well, wait a second. I think I'm going to add that person. I add the person. I go to next. Do I want to remind you? You can go through the process and send the information in the language of the recipient. We're going to be building this out into more and more language over time. But right now, as you can see, let's go back. Right now, you can see we have German, French, Italian, Danish, Spanish, Mexican Spanish, Polish, and of course, English. And over time, we're going to be building this out into two or three of the Asian languages as well. So this is something, if I'm not mistaken, no other app in the marketplace has, and that is multiple languages where we prepare the information in all of the different languages that are appropriate. So it really does allow us to speak to our international members and allow them to use this app as well, Emily.
Well, I really love this, Jim, and I really appreciate you going over all the specifics of how this app works. I mean, you've really showed this that it's really easy, and you can come to understand all the features as you try it out. It's pretty easy to navigate. It's pretty straightforward. And so I think that as our members play around with it, we encourage you, download it. It's free. So play around with it. Watch or go through that PDF that Jim was saying is built into the LifeWave app. So you can learn about all the stuff. If you couldn't write it all down today, watch this video again. We will be posting this on our YouTube channel at some point. So it will live here in our Facebook group for now, so you can reference it later. But really, this is an awesome piece for you, an awesome tool that really you should be taking advantage of, because it only makes your life a lot easier. It makes it so much easier to share. So
that really is what it's all about, is making our lives easier. I had someone, when I was sharing the information, she said, you know what, the best part about this are the reminders, Jim. I forget what I've done. I lose track. I got my kids, I got my errands, I got my life, and I love the fact this comes and taps me on the shoulder. It taps me on the shoulder and says, hey, Jim, you got to be doing so-and-so or whatever. And that's what's magic about it, is knowing that you can use this the way in which you want to use it. All righty. And you can spend some time with leadership. Some folks are really immersed in using the app all the time. Others are kind of cherry picking it, depending. And over time, on a company level, corporate level, our intention is to build this out. There are a lot of additional, there's more horsepower that we can bring to this app to do more things, to proactively tell you what your downline is doing, things like that. So if someone becomes a manager, you're told, things like that we want to be able to get to, that will allow the LifeWave In Touch app to become part and parcel to your success at LifeWave.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim. Honestly, this has been really great. We've had a lot of really awesome comments that have been coming through the whole time. So I know that everyone's really been enjoying the content that you've shared here with us today. And
good
for your time. Really appreciate it, Jim.
Of course. Happy to do it. And if we need to, let's do it again soon.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you have a good day, and thank you all for tuning in. We'll definitely be coming in here again, posting, doing content videos and training like this, popping in with announcements. So make sure that you have your notifications turned on for this group so that you're informed whenever we go live, and so that you're getting all the updates on awesome additional content that's coming your way to make it easier and more simple in every aspect of sharing your business and being part of this LifeWave family.
And Emily, one last thing, you are doing an incredible job. This Facebook group is fantastic. Well done. Let's keep her going.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.